Hi, my name is Victor Perez from Autodesk, and this is the second video on the integration between NVIDIA Cloud XR and Autodesk VRED. If you haven't seen the first video, feel free to go and check it out now. In this video, we're going to go through the integration of Cloud XR markers, so QR code markers on the floor for the positioning of your VRED scene. Just as a little introduction of the tools, we are going to be using ARCore, which is the AR development platform by Google for Android. We are going to be using an Android tablet as we did in the tutorial before. ARCore uses three key capabilities to integrate the virtual content with the image you see from your device's camera. From the one side, motion tracking allows for your device to understand and track the motion relative to the world. The second one is environmental understanding. This allows to locate surfaces such as tables, the ground, or walls. And finally, its lighting estimation capabilities allow for the device to estimate the lighting conditions of the environment. To go deeper, ARCore's motion tracking technology allows it to detect points called features and to track them over time. With a combination of the movement of these points over time and readings from the sensor of the tablet, it allows ARCore to both determine the position and the orientation of the device relative to the world. This is the base functionality you get when you are using Cloud XR. Using a QR code is completely optional, but it's extremely useful, especially when you're doing collaboration between different devices, as you need the scene to be perfectly synchronized. If you are not using a QR code, you will have to pinpoint a point by hand, and that's extremely difficult to do, especially to get the exact same position between them. This QR code will then be your 0 point of the scene inside of VRED. We're going to go through the requirements now, and the first one is that it doesn't necessarily have to be a QR code. Any image can be recognized inside of ARCore as long as it's complex enough. The reason why we usually use QR codes is because they are extremely easily recognized by the software. In this case, for example, we tried to integrate Varjo markers, which are used by Varjo systems, with Cloud XR instances. To do this, we composed different Varjo markers until it was complex enough for ARCore to be able to recognize it properly. We had to combine 9 of them, which is quite a big amount to be honest, but it works perfectly and it gives a 100% score inside of ARCore eval tool. You are also going to have to print the marker, and finally we are going to be needing the Android tablet. There's of course some caveats to this system. One is that you can only use one QR code at a time, and the QR code can only be the 0 point. You cannot assign the QR code to one object, for example. It's of course better if you print it in a matte surface, as it will be more easily recognized by the software. And finally, to be recognized, the QR code has to cover at least 25% of the screen. If it covers an area lesser than 25%, it will not be recognized by Cloud XR. The first thing you are going to need to do is to download ARCore.exe. To do this, navigate to developers.google.com/ar/develop. There you can find the documentation you will need to download. Once you've downloaded it, just extract the folder onto your desktop. This tool will allow us to create image databases that can contain one or more images into a list. The first step you will need to do is to add arcoreimg path to the environment variables. This will allow the command prompt to call the app from any folder. To do this, open Windows, open System Environment Variables, and on the lower window, look for Path. Once you found it, click Edit and add the ARCore path. So in this case, it's in the desktop, just copy the path and paste it here and click OK to save it. By default, the ARCore.exe program is found under this path here. Once you've added it, you will need to create a QR code. It can be any QR code you want. Once you have created the QR code, you have to open Command Prompt, and you can do two things. From the one side, you can assess the quality of the images. This will give a score to the images you want to use, 0 being completely unrecognizable and 100% being perfectly identifiable. To do this, navigate into the Command Prompt, into the image location, in this case it's in the desktop, and click and write arcoreimg eval. That's the command you need to evaluate the images. I will be leaving all these commands in the description below, of course. They recommend to have at least a result of 75, and for example, this QR code we just created scores a 100, so we are more than good to go. Second thing you can do is create a database. There's two ways to do this. One is to create a single image database, and second one, in which I found much easier and it's actually the preferred way, is to create a database from an image list. To do this, create a .txt file containing the name, path, and optionally the dimension of the QR code for improved scaling accuracy. And then you will need to use the build database command you find here. Once you have done it, an image database file as well as an image list file will be created. Just connect your tablet to the computer and copy both of them to the root of the device. Finally, we'll need to launch Cloud XR on the tablet. You will need to open SteamVR on the computer and VRED as well. And once you go over the QR code, the tablet will stutter for a second, which means that it's actually recognizing the QR code. Then we'll try to connect to the computer. If the connection is successful, a green Cloud XR icon should appear into SteamVR. So thanks a lot for watching this video. I hope this content was valuable and that you got Cloud XR with VRED and the QR code running all together. Whatever you need, just feel free to contact us. We'll be more than happy to help you. And yes, have a good one.